everyone. I hope you're all okay today, and if you're not feeling well, I hope you feel better very soon. It's another really chilly day here in my part of the UK. We had thick frost this morning and yeah, it's not very nice. This isn't a dolly video. I'm not showing any dolls today at all, no reborns or silicones. This is purely about my writing. And as a lot of you know, but perhaps some of you don't, I have written 3 books. They're romantic fiction and they are a trilogy, the silent trilogy, and they are about the same people. It's kind of interwoven. And today I want your honest opinion. You always give me that, I rely on it. And as you know, before we moved, I had started writing another book. Now that book is about one of the characters from my trilogy. And I want to know, I'm going to read you some of it to give you an idea of what I'd started. But before I do any more with it, I want to know honestly if I've done these characters to death. You know, whether you're no longer interested in these characters. So I'm going to read a bit of it for you, and then you can give me your feedback please about whether I should continue or whether I should scrap the whole idea and write something totally different, because I don't want to waste my time and I don't want to waste your time or money if you decided to buy the book. And thank you very, very much to everybody who has bought my books. I so enjoy writing, I really do. I know I'm just an amateur, but I enjoy it. I love doing it. So let me get my iPad and my glasses. Chapter 1. Beatrix stared at herself in the dressing table mirror, then at the photo on Instagram. She had the same dark hair, but his eyes were brown. He was a very handsome man, even though his dark hair was now tinged with silver at the sides. She did look like him though, with a hint of her mother, because she had her mother's green eyes. Beatrix had been following his exploits on Facebook and Instagram for over a year now, ever since she'd found out his name. She was fascinated by him and wondered what he was like. Also, if he remembered her. She had a vague memory of him, and that was all. She had found out that Jake wasn't her real father when she was 8 years old. She had asked her mother why she was so different to her younger brother and sister, because it was bothering her. Sydney was 4 years younger than her and had blonde wavy hair and blue eyes like their dad. Jessica was just over 5 years younger than her and had red hair and green eyes like their mother. So where had her dark hair come from? Was it from her grandparents, whose hair was now grey, so showed no signs of its original colour? She had been surprised to find out that she was adopted by Jake, but it hadn't really bothered her that much then. Now it did, and at the age of 17 she had found her real father on social media and watched him avidly. He was living in New York, but visited London quite regularly, it seemed. He still worked in advertising and was a senior partner at his firm. He didn't seem to be married, as far as she could tell. There hadn't been any photos of a wedding on his Instagram or Facebook, but then people didn't share everything on there. There were a lot of photos of him at parties and holiday destinations with different women, but never the same one twice. Her mother and father hadn't told her much about him, just that he was career driven and hadn't want to settle down and have a family. Her mother had been prepared to bring her up by herself, but then she'd met Jake in Paris and had fallen in love with him. Archie, her best friend, had told her more about him than her parents. She had always been friends with Archie since they were children. They were more like brother and sister really than friends. He sometimes overheard his parents talking about her biological father and told her what they'd said. Her Uncle John and Auntie Helen weren't fans of his. Apparently he had tried very hard to split her parents' marriage up. He was bad news. He didn't look like bad news to her, and she was determined to meet him. It would have to be done secretly though, because she didn't want to hurt her parents. Archie was going to help her with that. She had noticed that he, Mark Hudson, was going to the opening of a new art gallery in Chelsea next week, so she was making plans with Archie to bunk off school and get the train to London. Beatrix was very excited, but nervous to actually meet her real father, and hoped he'd be pleased to see her too. The sound of a car horn outside the cottage made her jump. She wasn't ready, so she rushed into her bathroom. Archie drew up outside the cottage in his blue Mini Cooper and honked the horn. He knew Beatrix, or B as he called her, wouldn't be ready. She never was lately. She had been really scatty since finding her real father, Mark Hudson, on social media, and her mock A-levels had suffered because of it. Archie was worried about her, but would do anything she asked of him. His blue eyes became serious. He thought about her, and his usual smile left him, making lines on his forehead. He knew he had a serious crush on B. He loved her, and not like a brother. She didn't see him like that though, and that hurt him. The passenger door of his car opened up, pulling him out of his thoughts, and the girl he'd been thinking about slipped in beside him. "Hi Arch, you look very serious. What's up?" Archie grinned at her, showing his perfect white teeth. "Nothing. Just boy stuff," he said dejectedly. She punched him playfully and he shouted in mock protest. "Hit a man when he's down," he joked, and he started to tickle her. She squirmed about in the seat, laughing and squealing at the same time. Her white top loosened itself from her black skinny jeans and showed her midriff. "Archie!" she exclaimed as she tried to pull her blouse down. He let go of her, started the car, chuckling to himself as he backed out of the driveway. So, what do you think? Do you think, those of you that have read the books obviously, do you think that a story about Beatrix trying to get in touch with her, inverted commas, real father, biological father, would make a good book, and her relationship with Archie? I'll leave it up to you to let me know if you want me to continue or you want me to scrap it and think of something else. Mwah! Love you ladies and gentlemen.